show food right there at the end.
Those piñones, those are so good. You got to go to Puerto Rico, man.
Guy. You don't
they have some amazing food in Puerto Rico, so it's great. So, good morning, guys and gals. Welcome to another episode of the RoadFS Detail Bookie Podcast, where every week we talk to amazing men, women, gentlemen, ladies, everybody,
gals,
right?
Dudes,
vendors, suppliers, vatos, yeah,
whatever.
My friends
we'll
in
talk
Mexico.
to anybody. But
yeah, so anyway, we're super excited. We have a guy that I've been following a little bit for about the last 6 months, watching what he's been doing. Please welcome Mr. Alex Lara with F1nish Coatings. He also has a detail shop. So welcome. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm like so stoked to be on this. I've watched a lot of your episodes. I've seen you guys at some of the events, and I'm like, oh man, it'd be so cool to be on this show. So I appreciate you guys having me. Super excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. You know, it's been interesting to watch the detailing industry over the last probably 17 years. I mean, Rod and I, we've been around a little bit, if you can't tell by Rod's no hair and my white hair. Right. So we've seen a lot of innovations. We've seen a lot of new products come on the market. But before we jump into F1nish Coatings, how did you get into the detail space?
So about 6 years ago, actually, I was running a media company, which I still do. And then I started detailing cars, and it kind of mashed because I love taking photos of cars, and then learning how to detail and doing paint correction really brought out like, wow, these cars can pop even more. And so my love for cars kind of developed, through media, but then starting to detail them about 6 years ago, diving into that and really starting out of my garage and during COVID, not really sure what I was doing, but wanted to really perfect my craft. I went to a couple different training courses and, started from there. I still do it now. And it's a blast, man. I love seeing, like a customer's face after their car comes in and then it comes back out and it's just like amazingly shiny. And they're like, oh my God, it looks better than when I bought it. And so that feeling, I've dove into a lot more than just that, but that feeling kind of drives this whole thing. Right. And so, yeah.
Well, and that's what I've always said this, that usually detailers are in two camps in my mind. It's either somebody that really has a passion for cars and they get into it, or it's somebody that's entrepreneurial and they get into it. And it's interesting because that contrast I see a lot, and that's, it makes sense of why you got into it. So 2020, you got in there, you got a media company, but let's go into some of the things that have directed you or helped drive you towards a coating company.
Got it. So yeah, I was running my detail company. I started working and doing marketing and media for a lot of different coating companies. Well, a few, not a lot, but a few across the United States. And so, over the course of a couple of years, I really learned a lot about what detailers need, what coating companies should provide them. And so I actually was approached by a chemist in an Asian country, and they said, hey, we have this new product. We'd love for you to launch it. So I traveled over there. I started learning more about chemistry a few years ago, and I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I love detailing. I know how to market the businesses now, and why not try, and so that's what kind of launched the whole idea. Fast forward, I ended up really wanting to have more control over what I can offer our installers. I wanted to be able to actually manufacture it here. So that's what we do here in Long Beach, California. We're based in, I'm not sure if you guys know the motorcycle scene, but we're in the Roland Sands Design building. He's a great guy, has kind of been my mentor for a bit. Super cool building, honored to be there. So he gave me the shot of being able to, have an amazing space without necessarily signing on to a huge lease. And so,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it really lined up, honestly. And with that, none of this would have happened without my beautiful girlfriend that's in that little pre-post profile picture. I was like, could I do it? And she's like, you got to try, right? Like, you got to try, you got to do it. Yeah. And so, yeah, she's the one who pushed me for sure.
That's
Well, that's
awesome.
good. No, that's
so I have a question for you. What was it that you were seeing in the companies that you were representing? What you saw as a detailer that was missing that you've tried to bring into your coatings?
So fast forward, I ended up launching F1nish Coatings, entirely made here in the USA. What I saw missing back when I was doing marketing and all that stuff is really installer support. A lot of the efforts for a lot of these coating companies is like, how can we sell more bottles? Or let's plan on the next year. How can we launch a new product that's the next exciting thing and the next exciting thing? And really, what I wanted to do is kind of backtrack. I didn't ever, want to be the fastest growing coating company or really over market to just sell bottles. I wanted to start small and give, somewhat of an ecosystem for our installers. So
okay.
we recently launched last week a software called Factory OS. It's not a CRM. It's basically a digital toolbox for installers that they can use to stay a little bit more organized from a coding standpoint. So it's, you can log your cars in your virtual garage, and it automatically creates a warranty card for them that they can send to their customer. They have an automatic flash timer that pulls their weather data and tells them when they should level the product, where they're at.
Cool.
There's a tiered system. There's a lot of cool tools in there. And so that's kind of what I saw was missing. It's like, yeah, we can put product in a bottle, but what can we do to actually help these guys? And so in the past, it was like, get more installers, but like, how do we take care of the ones we have? And so that's really what fed building Factory OS.
So what in Factory OS, when you, if you have that information about the vehicle, that warranty card, how does that come out of the system? What's the format that it comes out of?
So what it does, and this is actually pretty cool. We're kind of still working on the nuances of it, but they log a car, they take a picture, it goes into their profile, and then they click on the warranty card. And what that does is generates a picture of the car, a QR code, and a nice certification, basically, that they can send their customers like, hey, your car's been coated. Now that starts the warranty, but the customer can then fill out their information. And now we have a system that basically tells the customer, hey, go talk to your shop in 6 months, go talk to your shop in a year. And we're kind of helping out the reminders of taking care of the coating they paid for.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how, you, prior to us getting online, you said that you were working on developing the coding for about a year, right? And then you officially launched, as I understand it, December of last year, right? So
yes.
How, in this kind of, I want to position this both as you marketing, introducing a product, but how it can apply to detailers, because I see all the time, how do I get more business? How do I get my name out there? Right. So how have you taken this idea of being a detail shop and introducing a product, and how is that applicable to a detail business owner?
That's a good question. And that's something we're actually working on as far as the next phase of Factory OS. Initially, right now, it's basically a toolbox to help the installer in the process. I mean, basically, me working in the past with other coating companies, I actually talked to a lot of installers. And so one of the pain points I know is like, well, the coating's not doing what it said it was going to do, or the humidity's too high and it's flashing too hard. And so I think what we wanted to do was focus on like the installer experience first, and then branch into like, how can we get you guys more business, right? I mean, we're so small. We haven't even launched ads. We haven't done really anything other than build our core tight network of installers. But I can assure everyone that's on our team will definitely get the next set of tools that will help them, drive more traffic to their shops. Yeah. But first, before, we go like this, we got to go like this and make sure
exactly.
So
I want to jump into some of the more of the details on the coatings themselves. So how many different coatings do you have? What are the, 1, 2, 3, 5, all the normal coating questions. So tell us about the whole lineup. Got it. So I'm going to start with Trace Coat. It's an 8-ounce product, and it's actually really cool. It's probably one of our underrated products. Essentially, it's an $80 8-ounce bottle, and it competes with a lot of the sprays out there. However, it goes on like a traditional coating. The difference is heat, humidity, nothing affects it, and you can apply it to the entire vehicle and then start leveling it. So it's a really cool entry-level product that's also is designed to do like RVs, planes, and boats. Then we get into our 7-year race coat self-healing product. This is kind of our flagship product, if you will. Rated for 7 years, ASTM certified. All the chemistry we use is ASTM certified here in the United States. And then the third product we just launched was kind of our answer to, and I don't want to call it this, but it was our answer to the latest generation of, you're seeing liquid PPF, you're seeing 2K coatings, you're seeing different things like that. The industry pushing the boundaries on what's possible. And so that was our latest product we just released about a month ago. And so that's our version to, tougher, stronger, durable.
Is that a spray on as well?
No. So the last two are traditional in 50 ml bottles. They go on similar to, every other coating out there.
Okay. So it's interesting. You got 3 products that you're representing. You officially launched like 8 months ago. So how have you been getting it in the hands of the detailers? Have you just been cold calling and reaching out and saying, hey, we have a new product, let me send you a bottle that you can test? Or have you been having training? How's that work?
Yeah, so in the back end, initially what we did is we launched, we believed in this product, and we're like, we didn't want to set up, like a spend $2.99 and you get your starter kit. Let's send everyone the bottle first and make sure they like it before we ask them to invest, a significant amount of money for detailers into this product. And so we launched an entire sample program. Basically, it's free. You just pay shipping and you get a bottle of the coating. You get a cool little sticker and you get to try it out. So that, along with, some of the existing relationships I've had throughout the years have kind of fed it. And honestly, I'm blown away with how that actually worked, because realistically, starting that way at a loss isn't, realistic. And so, yeah, that's kind of where we started, how we got our base installers, and with existing relationships, that's where it started to grow. And we're definitely we're small. We're still super small. Sure. Like I said, there's no advertisements going out. We are planning on doing some, but it's more about working on getting the installers what they need first. And then,
that's an interesting strategy, because I think about when Rod and I first introduced RoadFS to the market, we literally went around to people and said, hey, we're building a CRM for your service business. We hadn't really niched down to the automotive. We knew we were going there, but we hadn't really niched down yet. And so we went to several people and we said, look, we would like to show you our software. Tell us what's missing. And we probably did that for 2 solid years, where we were going to different people. I mean, I went to HVAC, I went to plumbers, I went to detailers, electrician, and I just wanted to get a better understanding of the service industry so that we could build a software that would scale not only for the detailers, but across multiple industries. And that really helped us get an understanding of what our customer needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really served us well in both the short term and the long term. And we still kind of do that. I mean,
yeah, we'll do that. A lot of stuff that I think the key to that though is really it's instead of coming in and being like, hey, I'm Alex and I got the greatest coating in the world, you should buy it. You were like, hey, try this out and tell me if it's something that works for you. It's more of it's a little bit more humility and opening yourself up for
For sure. And we that's how we started out. And how do you know unless you test? And same with software, same with before we launched Factory OS, I definitely sent it to different guys and said, hey, is this working? It'd be like, oh well, my weather says I'm in Chicago, but I'm in Idaho. Different things,
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the key. And that's, one of you mentioned the Factory OS and I was like, oh, geez, what is the output of it? Is it a PDF? Could we import it into our system? I mean, that's the thing is always looking for continuous improvement. And that I think is the hallmark of a good product or a good company is when your first thought is, how do I improve what I already have? Not how do I go grab another dollar? I mean, we're all in business. Every one of us wants to get customers coming in, but to be more concerned with the improvement and growing the product, I think is what sets people aside. And I think that's the biggest difference with a product company and other companies that are just a flash in the pan, right? I mean, we've all seen companies come in and go out. Jody and I have been doing this since we were, I don't know,
younger,
much younger. But we've seen so many companies come into our space, meaning the detailing and the software space, and then they're gone in a year. Because they think they're going to come in and they're just going to scoop up the whole market and it's going to be all about the marketing and look at how flashy we are, and it's not about that. It's about taking care of your clients and your customers and listening to them and improving your product without being shisty, I guess is the best way to put it, without being a snake oil salesman. And that,
Yeah, for sure. And that, there's a lot of that. And so it's just, and coming from the marketing side too, it's like, I always had these ideas, like, how can we give installers more? How can we, nurture these guys and build honestly a real community of people that just want to succeed together, want to grow. I don't, I really don't even want to blow up and become this huge thing. What I really want to do is dial in our processes and the experience installers get when they use F1nish. And that's kind of was my goal for a long time. And now it's happening. So
yeah. Well, that's great.
So I have a question about the marketing side of things, right? You definitely come at the vision of growing your business from definitely a service and experience kind of product and brand, right?
Yes.
So where do you see detail business owners struggling when it comes to marketing their business?
As far as marketing goes, I think there's a lot of issues with the market's saturated, right? I mean, super saturated. And then unfortunately, like when Facebook ads, Instagram ads, everything got popular, there was, 50% of those companies didn't actually take care of the individual detailer. I mean, it goes back to take care of your people versus like, all right, we're going to sell you on a $1,500 ad spend a month and then good luck. Right. And so unfortunately, that's kind of what I see with marketing goes now. Detailers are like, well, should I do it? Should I not? There's a big gap between the people that are, doing $1 million a year to the people that are doing 100,000, and they can't take those risks anymore. And so honestly, for me, I think going back to the old school ways of marketing is actually super effective. I've found, instead of just launching another ad, I call it the purple cow effect. I'm sure you guys have seen that, but it's like, back in the day, I was excited to get like, a catalog in the mail, like, oh, let me look at, the tool catalog that came, or a business card. So I think as far as marketing advice goes, I think think outside the box. Do an experience for a potential customer that's a little bit different than just, $5.99 coat your car Facebook ad. Try and really get creative with it. I don't have the exact answer, but think outside the box. I mean, with ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini, you can really dive into like, how I live in this area. What should I do that would stand me out as the detailer of this area, and get involved in local community stuff. Become the guy. It's easy to hide behind, the screen and just post and hope you get something. But in all reality, if we can bring it back and just talk to each other as people, I think it would go a far way for individuals looking to expand their business.
Yeah. So, and I think that I see so many people, especially right now with the economy that's going on, I see so many people going, what can I do to get more customers? I need to jump on this, like you said, $1,500, $1,700, $1,800 a month bandwagon. If you're making it and struggling, that's going to potentially put you under. You should look into some things. And I think you made a perfect example. There's a lot of stuff going on with AI. Everybody's heard about AI, but those things you're talking about, those are the valuable tools of AI. I see so many people that are like, learn how to create your own CRM. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's the last thing you need to try to do.
Trust us.
I mean,
we know what it really takes.
AI is not a magic pill, but
No.
it can definitely tell you, hey, in my area, in this climate, in this environment, what should I be doing? And it'll help you in those areas. And I think that's a great way to figure out what you should do marketing wise.
For
So
sure.
many people look at somebody across the country or across the world and try to figure out how to market to that market. Like we just had Paolo from Canada jump on. If I'm watching Paolo and he's doing really well in Canada and I'm in the United States, I should not be doing what Paolo's doing because I'm not in Canada. I'm not in that market. I'm in my market. And each individual first needs to do some market analysis and go out in your community and see what it is that is the big thing. If you're in a farming community, maybe it's industrial coatings. If you're in a large construction type of area, like I was just in Colorado last weekend, man, the construction's going crazy. Maybe you look at the industrial side and talking to people that are doing with, concrete mixers and stuff. If you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, you're looking at supercars. I mean, it's just look at your individual
and heat from hell.
That's right. And talk about heat from hell. So
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, go ahead and tell what you say.
No, I make a joke sometimes because honestly, I mean, again, I'm just going to reiterate it, like using AI and even talking to like, say, Claude, for instance, like, hi, my name is John. I live in Texas. I run this. Like, give me the instructions on what you think I should do. I'm working with a small budget. Like, what should I do? I joke with my girlfriend. And I'm like, Claude's my boss now. Because the one thing that I have to say before we move on is we live in a world where there's so many distractions now. You can spend an entire day just looking at videos on your phone and you're like, what happened to the day? And and as business owners, it's extremely important to be like disciplined in the sense of like, don't distract yourself with that stuff. So now, I joke like, oh, my boss is Claude. He tells me what to do. But, it helps you organize all those thoughts in your head into actionable items. And so that's my last advice on as far as marketing goes and how you can help yourself just with the tools.
I have kind of a loaded question. So do you see a difference between marketing and advertising? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because as I was driving in this morning, I was thinking about all of the brands that have stuck in my mind, right? And this is a weird one. When we lived in Pueblo, Colorado, I was 16, and this clothing company still sticks in my head, and that was 40 years ago, right? I mean, a long time ago. These guys, they had the quirkiest ads. I mean, I still remember Little John and Robin Hood, and Robin Hood comes out and he's wearing the new clothes and he's all styling. Little John's got a toilet seat on his head, and they have this little jingle, and they're talking about, coming in for the new style, right? You're not stuck in the 1400s. And it was interesting because their advertising was so quirky, but their marketing was all centered around a fun brand.
Yes.
So talk about how you see the difference between marketing and advertising.
So advertising, right, I believe is, you have a product, you want to get it out there and you want someone to buy it. Marketing is building the lifestyle around that product. So, for instance, for our little company, like I try and do things that are fun and build community, right? We just gave away a Viper chair last week. About a month before that, we worked with Bar Jack Tools. We did a Bar Jack giveaway. And what's cool is we're so small. It's like, the guys that are participating have a fair shot, and it's building a family and a community. And in Factory OS, we have a whole social network built inside of it where people can chat and take a break from, the groups where they get bashed.
Yeah, we all
we all
see those. And I think that is one of the things. When we purchased Detail Bookie, a year and a half ago, the community that was built up around that product
really strong,
really strong. And I think that is the kind of one of the things that cemented that deal for us is the community around it. And I think that's it's hard to tell people how to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can't like say, okay, here are the 4 bullet points on how to become that. No, you have to be a genuine person and go out and actually meet with people and talk to them. You can't buy that. It's like friendship, right? I can pay you to be my friend for the weekend to be like, hey, Alex, come hang out by me and tell everybody how great I am. But you're not going to be genuine unless we're really friends and you're like, hey, man, you should really check this guy out. That's the difference. You can't pay for community.
I'm still waiting for my check.
I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him.
Yeah, and that goes back to, like our installers right now, that they'll call me and we have a great conversation, and we're not even talking about the product. We're talking about, like different ideas and fun stuff. And they are my friends and I love it because of that. And I think that's part of what I always wanted to do is just create this community of good people that, take care of one another. And so that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, that's
right.
exciting.
And I think that's what's really good about, it's funny because people talk to us all the time about starting their own podcast and doing that. And we always say, what's the idea behind your podcast? And they're like, well, I want to be able to push my brand. And I'm like, then you're in 2 episodes and you're out.
Especially if you're software.
Yeah, that's why people.
That's
one
why
time
we do it this way.
We got a lot of critiques, and that people were like, "Hey, man, you never talk about your software in the podcast." And I'm like, because it would end, it would die tomorrow. That's more of an ad. That's not a so. With the RoadFS Detail Bookie podcast, we've built a community of people at over 600 episodes that are not about our product. They're about your product and how you got there and, your advice that you give to people and things like that. And it's like, nobody's going to be able to copy that, right? There's never going to be another one of our podcasts. Somebody's going to have one that's bigger, better, whatever. And that's fine because that was never the goal. Jody and I were never like, and then we retire as YouTube. No, we're not. I laugh every time I see the word influencer. I'm like, no, I'm some dumbass that's on the, that puts out a lot of videos. So
you're not pushing for a spinoff show, are you?
Yeah, no, there's not going to be like a old bald guy's TV show or something. So, no,
that's funny. So,
boy, that'd last about half episode.
No, what you guys do is amazing, and I love checking in on it, and just like you said, man, the consistency of it being about people in the industry is what really I think also feeds your guys' passion for it. If it was about the same thing all the time or the product, it would go away. But You're
Yeah.
actually diving into the industry and finding out, who these people are, who Alex is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the key is people have talked to us about it all the time. And one of the things we don't make money on it. We seriously don't. We don't get sponsorship. There's no banner at the bottom that's got, sponsored by Alex Lara and F1nish Coatings, where you pay us money every month, because then it wouldn't be pure. It'd be all about F1nish Coatings. Hey, this week on the F1nish Coatings podcast, we talk about how can your ceramic coating help you,
Yes,
and so
yes.
we are just doing it because it's fun. We do it because
fun.
we get
It's
to
the
go
best
all over
part
the
of
world. We literally get to go all over the world and interview people. We get, like, 1 year at SEMA, we did 44 podcasts,
34
podcasts in 4 days.
In 4 days.
Wow.
And we wanted to talk to every single detailing company was there. And it didn't matter. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. We've had other podcasts on the podcast. I mean, it's,
Alex Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Dustin Jackson on when he still owned Detail Bookie, and we had competing products.
Yeah.
Because we just are there to uplift everybody and help. There is room for everybody. There really is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everybody gets into tussles, and there'll be this guy or that gal that you get into a bent situation with. But it's not about me thinking that Jody and I are going to have every client in the market. We're not. And the same with you. I think it's it's like, hey, I don't want to just sell bottles. I want to build a community around the product. So if someone wants to be involved with F1nish Coatings, what do they need to do? I mean, we've got a banner up here. We're throwing up here with your website and everything. But is that as easy as it?
Appreciate it. Yeah. So a few of our products are just readily available. If you want to dive into, say, Factory OS and our higher tier products, there's a little button in our Instagram bio. You basically apply. We'll reach out to you, chat. That's pretty much it. It's super easy. We are working on a couple more features to make that process a little bit more interesting. But yeah, super easy.
Okay. Are you going to have, I mean, there's not a lot of events that happen in SoCal. I mean, other than the stuff that we do at Peterson Automotive Museum. Are you going to do any kind of hosted training or? There you go.
Yeah, I had to have my Peterson mug. I'm bummed that I missed that because you guys were in my city, Yeah, no, definitely. Right now it's funny because we're kind of in a transition where we are at a really cool spot right now, but we're looking at moving with Rolling Sands to a different location. So
wow.
And that'll give us the space to like do a lot of cool stuff. And have events. We could do events where we're at now, but I'm always thinking we need a bigger spot or something. On a side note from that though, I think it'd be really cool if there was an expo here in Long Beach or LA. Just saying.
We have been trying
so hard.
We have tried for years because we think
the closest we've gotten is Vegas.
Yeah, we thought they should do West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast. The challenge, and we'll defend them on this. We'll defend them on this. The challenge is that the venues are just asses. They make you book it and pay it for like 3 years at a time. And then if you don't lock in like at year 3 for another 3, you're going to lose the facility. And so it's ridiculous.
It's kind of a dance.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of conversations with Sheldon K. We did the one.
We were involved in involved in one of them in Kentucky.
At the one in Kentucky, we went with the Southern Detailers Conference,
and it was crazy. The amount of negotiation that you have to do, and the amount of money you have to lay on the table to even.
There's a lot to make that happen.
Yeah. So I have a different respect for the people that are involved in that. So.
For sure. Wheels is awesome, and so is Sheldon. And yeah, I totally get it. Just from a dreamer standpoint, I'm like, I look at the Long Beach Convention Center while I'm driving. I'm like, this is the perfect place.
I think, and kudos to Auto Geek and Sonax, because they're trying to bring back Detail Fest, right? And so Rod and I just a month ago, we were at Detail Fest. There was Dr. Color Chip, there was Flex, there was Sonax, there was Auto Geek, there was us. There are a couple other brands. I think there were 8 brands there, right?
Yeah,
and
cool.
it's almost like it has to start like that and then expand out,
and
because it's so costly to put those on.
Yeah, and luckily the Peterson Museum is fabulous about doing that stuff.
It's just
David
amazing.
and the people that run the museum are some of the nicest folks we've ever met, and we'll be going there again.
Yeah,
we're actually going to be there again. We're going to be there at the end of the month. So,
oh, nice.
We're going to, there's a 3-day training, and we're going to drop in for a day. In fact, I got to call Dave Sanchez about that. So
yeah, we're going to be down there at the end of the month. And so the thing is we're very lucky. We know that we get to go to all these events and all these venues. There's some fabulous training facilities throughout the United States and the world. I mean,
there are some,
really Middle Ohio, you've got PDP that has a really beautiful facility. You've got there's all kinds of great training
PDP,
facilities.
RoadFS, Sonax down in the vault.
So
I mean, even the smaller ones like Rasheed Baker in his huge garage. We've had some pretty amazing experiences. We're going to be in Chicago at Jason Otterness's place.
Nice. Jason's awesome.
Jody's going to be there.
2 weeks. I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Yep. And then we're going to be in Kentucky, a PDR Expo, SEMA.
You know what you should do? You should see if you can come to the Budco distributor event September 19th.
Let's check that out.
It's a smaller event. They get 200 to 300 detailers, and it's all in the Budco distributing facility. But that might be a great place for you to bring your
that'd be
product
cool.
out. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I made a note of that. I want to hang out with you guys. You guys are fun.
Now we try to make it fun. We try to make it fun.
Well, usually there's only a couple of rules. One is Jody holds your bail money, and then
and I won't pass you a beer if you don't want one.
I won't pass you a beer if you don't want one. And that's pretty much the only rules we have.
That's about the only 2 rules we have. Right. Have a good time.
Come home with all your fingers and toes, and everybody's good.
Oh man.
So as you've built your business, right? You're 6 years old-ish, 6-ish years old.
Yeah.
What have you learned along the way that you think would be helpful to other detailers and business owners?
Like before, honestly, I think, trying to come at things with a different approach. It's easy to follow everyone online. Don't get trapped, on Facebook looking or comparing with other people. Really, at the end of the day, they're not your customers. I love the community. I don't want to knock it, but it's really addicting to continually check social media and look at stuff. And I think there's a time and place for it, every day, but really get out there and become a part of your community and do good work. And, and that's, it's amazing how far you can get if you do good work, you show up on time, you're a nice person, you're respectful, and you can constantly try and get out there and meet new people. I mean, it's amazing how far you can go with that.
Yep, it's my daughter's rule. Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche. That's really it. I mean, you can't be underhanded and try to take advantage of people. It's never going to work out. They're always going to find out you're trying to take advantage of them. Even if it's a situation where somebody is not your ideal client, it doesn't have to end. It can end very amiably and say, you know what? I hope that works out for you. It just doesn't seem like this is a good fit.
Exactly.
And that's really what it comes down to. And I think people need to understand that more often. It's not about, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in the early 2020s, and the boy grind, and you gotta crush the competition. If you're, that kind of mentality only lasts a little while, and then you are burnt out. You can't do that. You've got to step back. And actually, I think we became more successful when we stepped back from that and said, you know what, we're not going to go post 87 times an hour. We're going to take a specific amount of time. We're going to post. We don't care about, yes, we want people to go like, subscribe and share our YouTube videos because we get other awesome guests on there. But it's not because we are trying to get, oh my God, we got to have 5,000 followers on YouTube. No, we don't care. That's not how we make our money. That's not how we make our living. It doesn't matter to me in the slightest. It's funny because if you think about, somebody asked me this question once. They're like, if somebody handed you a sack of money, what would you do with it? And I'm like, okay, like somebody hands me a sack of money. There's a little thing where it goes, and he was never heard from again. I'm honest. I'm straightforward. If you think about it, 90% of the people, if you handed them a black bag full of $1,000 bills, they're not going to hang around the industry. This is what we do for the rest of our lives, right? If I came to your house and we hung out for a while, I'd find out what your hobbies and your passions and what you do in your spare time are. That's what, I know what Jody's real life is like, right? He knows what my real life is like. This is what we do, but at the end of our lives, it's about who we are, how we treat people, the friends we made along the way, and the journey to get to wherever it is you're at.
Exactly. Take care of one another, and take care of your body too.
Dude, that is so important. It's funny. I watched there's two young guys that are finished carpenters or framers, and I see them on TikTok, and these guys are strong. I mean, I'm watching this young kid pick up 4 bags of concrete thing and just carrying them on his shoulder, or grabbing 16, 2x4s and carrying them over. And I'm like, dude,
nope.
That is awesome that you can do that, but that is not going to last. Your body is going to shut down.
Trust me, I can tell you based on I started out life as a mechanic. And when I went in 2013 and I had a broken back, he said, tell me what you've done in your life. And I'm like, well, I did this and I did this. And then I used to pick up engine blocks and walk around. And he's like, just stop. Any of that. And there's like 5 things. He's like, any of those things. And I know when you're younger, it doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt.
You can do that stuff. You're like, this is fine. I'll jump off this house. I'm up on the house. I'll jump off. It'll be cool. No, trust me, when your hips give out, and there's some friends of mine that have dealt with that, with hip surgery and things like that. It's not just because you're weak. It's because you did things in the past that were not smart.
Body's pain.
You've got to start taking care of you. And I know old guys told us this when I was younger. I heard this same speech, man, take care of your body.
And whatever.
It doesn't hurt. Trust me, that crap hurts, man. There are days you wake up and you're like, I think that I was hit by a building. And Jody and I, we've been on some really exciting things. We worked in some museums. We've worked on some great cars. And there was a time when I worked for 6 days underneath the wing of an airplane. And Jody literally, he said, I watched you. We walked out of that facility and he goes, and I watched your entire body just shut down. And you can't do it. You cannot do it. You can only do it for so long. And then I think you've got to realize that you got to work smarter. And I'm finally doing that at my age. Like if I'm working on a car, I mirror both sides of the car. I have a cart on both sides of the car. And I have the same stuff on both sides. So I don't have to carry stuff around. I go to this side of the car and I've got this pad and this polish. I go to this side of the car and I got this pad and this polish. And I don't go back and forth. You worry about how many steps you're taking in that process.
Yeah.
The same thing when you're doing a coating. It's like you've got to put it in there and go, okay, this is how I'm going to do this. This coating has this much time and before it flashes. And when you talked about, the humidity and everything,
I got my towels all prepped.
Think about it. You at the end of that thing, if you are just killing yourself to get around the car, get a friend. Somebody come help you.
Nothing worse than applying a coating and going, crap, I don't have a towel.
Or here's the big one is you apply the coating, it's flashing, and you drop the towel. You've got to go back in the shop, in the cabin, and open it up, get the right towel. So that's why I said I mirror. I have everything laid out. Different colored towels for different steps. If you're going to do a 3-wipe method, you have 3 different colors of towels so that you don't forget what color 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this. And then I try to always have somebody there. I've got a 23-year-old daughter that's done more stuff.
She loves being
she loves hanging out with her dad, and I really, really, really am lucky, and I'm very grateful for that. But working on cars is not her favorite thing. But she will do it any time of the day. She'll come out there and polish.
She's with Dad.
Yeah, she gets to hang out.
That's cool.
She traveled 12 and a half hours last weekend in a truck to deliver a car to Colorado and then drove back. So 24 hours in the car with Dad. And she had a blast. We had a lot of fun. We joked, we laughed.
Remember that.
So yeah, she's all my kids are fantastic and they'll do that. But do yourself a favor. Get somebody that is willing to hang out with you and do that. Jody and I have worked in shops we've replaced engines and, we have a blast. When Jody and I do that, we're singing songs and we talk in a funny voice. And sometimes we're Pepe Le Pew and sometimes we're, So you got to have fun no matter what you're doing.
For sure. And don't kill yourself either. There's people that are pushing, you can do a car in 3 hours. Take care of your body. Take a little bit of extra time if you need it. There's obviously a fine window of taking too long, but that's my advice. Just take care of your body, take care of your mind, and don't work too hard.
That's good. So guys, if you don't know Alex, he's on Facebook. If you just look
TikTok,
up Alex
Instagram.
Lara, he's on Instagram. He has F1nish Coatings, and that is F1, which I love. The F1 is in place of the FI, so F1nish Coatings.
F1nish. That might be our next product.
It's like the car going F1nish Coatings. In fact, Judy and I were talking about maybe going to F1 in Vegas. It'd be pretty fun, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay X dollars. I don't even know how much it costs to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Come to Long Beach. Check out Grand Prix. Grand Prix is fun.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. So, guys, go connect with Alex. As you can tell, man, he's super invested in creating community, super invested in helping you grow your brand and providing a great product. And as always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, go out and share this episode. And is there any last thing that you want to share?
We've had 2 episodes this week. We're not doing another one. We're very blessed. We're glad that we've got people that are that we can get on the show and that we've actually had to put out 2 episodes this week.
Yeah.
We will have another episode next week. And man, I'm telling you.
What is next week? I don't even remember who the guest is, but I'm telling you it's going to be amazing. And then we'll be at
Peterson Auto Museum, we'll then Peterson, Illinois, and
it's going to be packed.
There's PDR Expo in September. There's Kentucky.
It sounds like chaos.
It is. It's totally chaos. If you could live inside of Jody and I's brains for one day, you would probably run screaming in the other direction. So
my brain is it never shuts down. So, but anyway.
So thanks for tuning in, Alex.
Thank you
so much for reaching out to us. This has been great. We'll have to look you up because we go to LA a couple of times a year.
Yeah,
we're down there.
Come on down.
And and then I want to recreate that picture. Only I'm going to be on your shoulders, not your girlfriend.
Yes, that would be cool.
We'll see how strong you are.
I'm gonna start working out Monday.
You better.
This isn't WWE LAX. SmackDown.
That's right.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks. You have a great day. See ya.